Hey, Time Slicers, welcome to Slice Squad Spills. I'm your host, Nikki Wildflower. I went from a basement apartment to a multiple seven-figure empire. Now I'm here to share how you can do it too. Hello and welcome to the first noise is you slurping. Hello and welcome to the Slice Squad Spills podcast. Please keep that in there. Do not cut that. Welcome to the Slice Squad Spills podcast. Today we're going to be talking about, taking action
without attaching to the income.
The outcome.
It's off to an amazing start.
We're doing amazing, sweetie. I guess it could also be attaching to the income. When we talk about taking action despite the outcome, I'm Nikki Wildflower, and I'm here with my co-host / sister Jackie.
Hi.
And this is a good episode. It's actually like, I think that what really gets me excited about this is that I feel like I'm really good at taking action before I'm ready to take action. I don't know if I'm necessarily amazing at taking action without attaching to the outcome. So like, for example, this is something that I have learned in time and like we'll talk about a lot. Like when you are putting things up on social media or reaching out to potential clients or selling retail or selling a higher ticket service, it's really difficult to like do something out of your comfort zone and not attach to, am I going to do this? Is it going to happen? When you do detach from the outcome, it's really, really empowering and you're able to show up so much better for people. Do you want to speak into that at all?
Here's the thing. There are things that we know work, period, in like growth and business, even like self-development and mindset, like going to therapy. Like we know these things can work. And what that like end goal is on, whatever you're utilizing or whatever action steps you're putting into place. Are you cracking up because it's just not making sense? Or did you spill? Yeah? No, you spilled. I'm not making sense. Can you swallow the drink, please?
I want that to stay in the podcast, but it really it didn't make any sense.
It made sense in my brain.
Okay. It just felt like...
I did ramble, like the therapy piece maybe wasn't necessary, but all I'm saying is
the cliff notes of that, whatever.
Whatever that was, is that sometimes the outcome that like when you are putting in action steps, whether that be doing things that will ultimately work, the outcome of what those things exactly look like might be different than what you anticipated originally. Having these like really clear, concise, like this is exactly what this is going to look like when I do this, it actually deters you from like open doors. Like expectations of outcomes can close doors to opportunities because you're not showing up in an open way. Did that make sense at least?
Yeah. And I want to even add to that like when we are attached from an immediate outcome with an immediate action, like that immediate gratification, it can sometimes really get in the way of our long-term goals and like long-term thinking. So for example, this morning, and I'm going to have a moment. This morning, I did a masterclass, right? And I worked really hard on this masterclass, like bringing the absolute most value. And I didn't have what I did so that I could show up fully present for people is I completely detached from the outcome. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't have hopes, right? What I know is like I was able to go into that because I was attached from the outcome of like what would happen in that masterclass, that I was able to show up like fully present for people. And even though I had hopes for like how many people would show up and like how many of those people would maybe become clients or go through our certification, I was still able to really like, I did breath work in the morning and I'm like, just detach, because like your goals are long-term, not short-term. They're not going to come in like these little spikes of energy and these ups and downs. They're going to come in like the boring, mundane routine that you repeat over and over and over again. I think that for me, I find it hard because I always like operate in these bursts of energy and then downs. Like I'm like up and down and up and down and up and down. And what I've learned is like just staying neutral instead of like living on those highs is
Instead of
huge.
being addicted to the stress hormone cortisol.
It's the dopamine, baby.
It's both, but no, that's valid. I mean, it's cool that you're sharing that, you know, because I think you like started to touch on it, but then you didn't completely go into it. You detached from the outcome and you were able to show up present, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't disappointment around the outcome, right? Like the human emotion of, okay, this didn't go exactly how I wanted
It
it to
didn't
go.
go
And
exactly
that's
how I wanted it.
okay. Yeah.
It didn't. But like I went into it, I'm like, so what? You just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that I have been working on too. Like, why the fuck not have fun? And like, if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. So like, if I can't find a way to make everything fun at this point in my career, and like, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have not been making everything fun. And my mental health has like absolutely suffered for it. And I'm just like feeling really inclined to show up and have fun with it and be detached to the outcome. And that's why I wanted, because that's what's going to make long-term growth possible. And that's why I wanted to do this episode today specifically, because it's something that I had struggled with,
Yeah, for sure.
trying to control so many outcomes on the day to day.
You know, something that I've had to learn is that, so I also like specifically have in the past attached to exactly what something might look like once I put in certain action steps in the short term. And there have been many times where like it was the complete opposite outcome than what I envisioned. And I have learned so many lessons, or that like rejection, if you will, or opposite outcome than what I actually wanted. Maybe I was sad about it. Maybe I cried about it for like a day. And then ultimately different doors opened. So like my last job before working with you, I had a very specific, very specific outcome that I wanted to happen there, mapped out on a piece of paper. This is the role I want to be in. This is how much money I want to make. This is exactly what it's going to look like, detail for detail. This is when my boss is going to promote me to that position. And in one of it was my annual review. I was ready to like pitch myself into that role. And the outcome in my brain, I was so attached to like what I wrote down on that paper, how much I was going to be paid, all of it. I was like, doing it. I knew it was going to happen. I was like, I'm manifesting. Okay. And I showed up to that meeting and I like pitched the idea and he's like, no. Literally just don't think that that's the right position. It's not possible for it like within the company right now. And also I don't think you could handle the pressure of that sort of a role. And I'm like, great, awesome. Cried my eyes out. In like true, he's like, you can't handle the pressure. And I'm like, yes, I can. No, but
I can absolutely handle the pressure.
And look at where I'm at now. Like, really, it was more the idea of that role that I was really manifesting. That was the end goal, was for me to be in a leadership role, inspire others, be a mentor, be, you know, all of the things I am right now. So I got to the big picture, but it just didn't look the same. And that rejection opened the door for me really to like jump ship from there and step in here into Slice Squad full time. And that was the best decision I could have ever made. So look at what becomes possible when you detach from an outcome or have a more like broad, open, big picture idea and let your GPS reroute you, if you will.
Yeah, I've been rerouted a few times for sure. It's really interesting. So like I've always been somebody who takes action like really impulsively, actually. I just like get an idea and I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's boogie. And it's like so wild. The more like employees I have and other people, the more I have to like actually take a step back and be like, all right, let me think about, reel it back in. It's so wild. But when it was just me, I was like, oh, well, I mean, fuck it, right? And I'm so glad I did because it got me where I am. But I don't know if what got me where I am is going to continue to get me where I want to go. So it's just an interesting thing. But anyway, I really think that it's so important when you are putting yourself out there on social media. This is how I feel that this concept really ties into what we do and within the service industry. So when we reach out to potential clients, when we are doing a consultation, when somebody reaches out to us for a service, putting ourselves out there in any way, shape, or form, recommending retail, reaching out, like taking a risk, like reaching out to a company and seeing if you could become an educator for them, something like that, anything like that. If you can just like remove yourself from the outcome and come from a place of empowerment, you're going to do much better in life, and just like live with that. Also, just like lean into that fear. I've learned really strongly to just lean into that fear and just go for it. And like, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, yeah, and it might be painful. And if it doesn't, and you can totally live through that pain, and you will. You could get through rejection times 1,000. You could get through being broke. You could get through anything, really.
We can do hard things every day. We can build internal resilience. Like the more actually you take a risk and then maybe it doesn't pay off, and again, you're like rerouted in a different direction and you were detached from the outcome, the more you're going to be inspired to take another risk. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. I did the thing. Maybe it didn't turn out the way that I thought it was going to turn out, but it was, I put myself out there. I tried, and it wasn't the like rejection. I could handle that again, because if I have to handle that again 3 times for me to be put on the right path, okay, cool.
So be
not
it,
a big
right?
deal. Yeah, not a big deal. So in the service industry, I think like we find with our clients, like this fear of rejection or like attachment to an outcome. Okay, maybe we advise them to post like a specific like call to action on social media. Well, it didn't work the one time.
And I was so attached to that working that one time
that I'm
I
not
will
doing
not
it again.
continue to do it.
Correct. Yeah. And that is like the biggest hinder, because maybe you just need to try it again in a slightly different way. Boost it, post it to a different social media platform. Like it's not a one size fits all, right? Like there are things that work, and they may work like depending on your specific niche and your specific ideal client avatar, it will work, but maybe on a different platform or in a slightly different direction.
And
so
maybe you're going to iterate or try again, like over and over and over. And that ties a lot into consistency. All of these concepts really do tie together, but it's hard not to be repetitive. But really, like when you're able to dive fully into something and overcome the fear of rejection, overcome the fear itself, and not be so attached to what happens as a direct result of that, you're going to be much happier. And that's
we're
it.
Trying to be happy out here.
Fucking trying, bro. Like, shit.
The only thing we can actually control as humans is like actually fully is the way that we show up every day. That's literally pretty much it. There are some other small things we have, a little like we can weigh into, but it's really like our own decisions. So no need to be attached to any outcome. Just keep doing the things. Whatever the big picture vision is, what would that person do? That person that you're trying to be in like a year from now with your goals. If you don't do goal setting, by the way, you definitely should. And when you do, and a year from now, this is exactly what I want my life to look like, tap into like who that person is. Because it's you, right? But with different things, with a different amount of money, what would that version of you do today?
It's you, but maybe more better.
But more betterer. So be more betterer than today.
That's really it. That's all I got for you. It is. It's all I got. So we wanted to make another short episode, short, cute, love. It's been fun. Hopefully you guys like them too. As always, the links to sign up for a call to see if we could help you further, or if we might possibly be of any help to you with our services for service providers. We will always leave those in the description. We do hope that you will subscribe and download these episodes. It's really helpful for us. We are not sponsored currently. Never really thought about it. We do this for funsies. So
maybe we can be someday. Who knows?
I don't think about it. I'm really detached from the outcome.
What we really want to do is just reach as many people and help as many people as possible. That's like actually genuinely the vibe. So like, subscribe, comment. I was going to say something else. This was such a short episode.
It was, but it's okay. I'm like done talking.
Okay, great. Love.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Slice Squad Spills. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback is going to help us improve and attracts more listeners to the show. Please share with your fellow time slicers. And hey, if you're ready to optimize your time and double your income, we've got you covered.